Nick Darr here with Big Z Media. Hope you enjoy the episodes of Business Over Brew, and pleased to have the Riverbend Growth Association as the sponsor of this program. You know, our missions are kind of the same, really. We're attempting to educate people about business, foster business in the Riverbend community. The Big Z has been a member of the Growth Association forever, probably back to our inception as a company almost. We have always been members of the Growth Association, have gotten a lot of benefits from it. There's so many networking opportunities you can take advantage of. I've met so many great people just because I've been a member of the Growth Association and taken advantage of all the events that they have, plus just some of the resources they provide you, the relationships you build, just lots of great reasons to join the Growth Association. They do a lot of great things in the community as well. They highlight a different nonprofit every month. So really, they're just invested in the community here, and especially the small business community, which is what Business Over Brew is really all about, which is helping the small business community, because it's so important to any community to have a thriving business community. And the Growth Association has really helped with that. If you want more information about joining or events that might be coming up, they have events all the time that you should definitely take advantage of. I'm going to give you the website to go to. Just head to growthassociation.com. You can get a membership directory. You can see who's taking advantage of it. You can see about the events that are there, learn more about possibly becoming a member. Or if you already are a member, you can find out what's going on with the Growth Association at growthassociation.com. So just again, big thank you to the Riverbend Growth Association for sponsoring Business Over Brew. Welcome to Business Over Brew. I'm your host, Nick Darr. Pleased to be joining you again from the Great Rivers Tap and Grill, the show where we talk business with some of the Riverbend's most interesting and influential business people. Pleased to be joined today by DJ Most Precious from Most Precious Promotions. Thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Nick.
Cheers. You got a nice looking drink there.
I know.
I think it's the first tequila sunrise that's been consumed on the show.
So beautiful.
It does look pretty. So just tell us a little bit about, we'll start with just tell us a little bit about your business, how it got started, and kind of the basics of it.
Perfect. Well, thank you first of all for having me on here. Thank you to the Riverbend Growth Association for even setting this up and having this partnership with you and this amazing platform. But Mahogany, DJ Most Precious Henderson is who I am, and I am the brand face or the face behind MPP, which is Most Precious Promotions and Production. I got into business over 10 years ago, 2010 to be exact, when I was just getting into UMSL after graduating my associate. I was like, okay, I'm in college. Getting into fields after you graduate is hard. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to try to, and also I was studying business at the time too, so I wanted to actually live the proof of what I was studying, do the trials and errors and all that type of stuff in the process of studying that degree.
Right.
In the midst of that, I was like, I come from a family of entrepreneurs. Like my grandmother owned a real estate property in the city. It was a storefront. She turned it into a rental place. My dad followed suit and owns 2 real estate properties. And I was always involved with doing the behind the scenes, the property management. I just been around business ownership for my entire life. And I was like, I wanted to do something that I was passionate about. And promotion and just being a creation and giving great energies is what MPP was formed off of. And being able to have a platform to give job opportunities to others and have a job for myself when I graduated, if I couldn't find one in the field I was actually studying, if that makes sense. So yeah, just having something I can call my baby,
right,
and watch it grow.
I think one of the things that's great about being a business owner or an entrepreneur is just the directions it can take you, maybe that you didn't have planned. You've got several entities kind of under one roof. Talk about the various businesses that you're operating right now.
Yeah. So it started all with MPP, Most Precious Promotions brand, which is on the process of being trademarked with MPP, Most Precious Promotions. I'm DJ Most Precious, which is MP, so everything involved with me has an MP or MPP association with it. First of all, the whole precious part is my name is Mahogany, and it's a precious piece of wood, very unique. So I try to build a brand around that. So it started with MPP, Most Precious Promotions and Productions. Then it went to MPP Studios, and now as of last year, this will mark 1 year as a nonprofit owner for Most Precious Dream Foundation. Mm-hmm. So that's all the entities in one, and it all started with one ideal with the promotional company.
You've got your own podcast too, probably a much better one than this one.
Nah, Nick, we ain't doing that on this show. No. Mine is not as often as yours, let's say that much.
Right, yeah.
Mine is kind of very periodic because I'm not always on land. I DJ on cruise ships a lot.
Okay.
So as a DJ on the Carnival Cruise Lines, I'm usually gone for 3 months at a time. So I can't always consistently run it every week. I have a lot of break gaps and all that, different seasons, but I am on, I think, season 7 when I do get back into doing about 5 or 10 episodes per season. So yeah, I do. It's called In the Hot Zone, literally, In the Hot Zone.
Right.
And we just talk about the hot juices, the hot spices, and the hot topics with the hot talent.
Awesome, cool. You said Carnival Cruise Lines. How did that relationship transpire?
I'm in the DJ world. I've been a DJ since 2009, but professionally in 2012, and I follow a lot of different DJs. One of my good mentors that I follow works on cruise ships. So I followed who she interacted with, got an opportunity out the blue, paid him to consult with him, and he hit me with the, hey, do you have a press kit? I didn't have one at the time, so I paid to get one done by him. Then he set up a relationship with Carnival, and I got interviewed and got hired on the spot in April 2018. But I was scared, so I didn't take my first tour on the ship until September that year.
Where's the coolest place you've been?
St. Lucia.
Yeah?
But it's hard to ask. It's been almost 5 years of me doing it. Aruba, Grenada, I went to Costa Rica, Spain, it's Barcelona,
It's not a bad gig then.
It's not. It's not. I'm living my dream and also getting basically paid to travel. But also it's some cons. You're away for a long time.
Sure.
And you do get to miss your family. You do miss your family a lot, you know. But they can come cruise. But it still don't make the fact that you can't wake up and go next door and see them type deal. But the people on the ship become family.
How long of a period of time are you typically gone for?
When I started it, I was gone for 6 months. I got promoted last year in January to be a pro DJ, which is what I aspired to be when I first joined Carnival. And now I do between 2 to 3, 4 months at the tops.
So that's a little bit better than being gone half a year at a time anyway. So talk a little bit about your vision for the business in the next 3 to 5 years.
So with the background in doing cruise ship and in traveling the world and seeing different cultures and being able to apply that to MPP's brand, I see MPP really evolving. We've made increases in different products, we do selfie booth, 360 booth services now. We're able to produce podcasts now, things that I didn't envision at first. I started on radio back in 2009. So from radio to branching out to owning a radio, which you're not even chopping that in there, but everything is still roamed around giving platform opportunities, giving people a place to be themselves and be uncensored, and also me to be me and not feel conformed to be what others expect you to be. So that's really the vision I see for MPP, is just to continue to build, now that the not-for-profit is there, finding a hub to work with the youth. My passion is youth. My day-to-day, I work for the YMCA as a camp director. Okay. So I'm with the kids all the time, and throughout the year I do before and after care with the kids. So in the end, creating programs to inspire the community of the youth that is within the age bracket that I want to do for my non-for-profit. So in the end, is to be able to have a hub that can touch even more people than the adults I've been accommodating all these years. Now it's time to touch the youth. Just to reiterate the mission of the non-for-profit, talk a little bit about that. Most Precious Dream Foundation is basically, as a kid, I never was asked a question. I can't remember if I was. What do you want to be when you grow up? We all get that question. What do you want to be when you grow up? Everybody's typical. I'm a doctor, a veterinarian, or something like that. But we never get the foundation of how to get there. You can go to school, get a degree, and do this. But what MPDF is, or MPDF, Most Precious Dream Foundation, is to help you find the fundamentals to get to those dreams. So you start young with them for I think it's 8 to 17, 18, and you literally we work with them to get them in the place to actually rid those dreams. It could be music, it could be anything. We're just there to help them find that foundation to reach those goals or those dreams, making them a reality, really. So that's the mission of it. And from leadership to sports, to podcasting, to DJing, any dream that they might have, our hub and our non-for-profit is to help them believe that they can do it and to support them as they do it. Yeah, very cool. Do you have employees, or you're a solopreneur? Or? I have contractors for MPP. They come in when it's necessary. As far as not-for-profit, I am seeking board members. Nobody's on that just yet, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
If they wanted to get in contact with you about possibly supporting the cause in some way, how could they do that?
MostPreciousDreamFoundation.org.
Okay, great, awesome. What's the most rewarding aspect of the business side of it for you?
The stories. You get those surprise reviews on Google, like, oh my God, y'all got to book Most Precious or MPP because they did this, she did this, she embodies every client. That's the part, is that I'm able to, of course, not every client is for every business. You don't have to take every client that comes your way.
Right.
But those who have been led to me by, I'm not gonna get spiritual or anything, but I've been praying about different lanes and people to come in contact with, and those are showing face. So the reward of being able to connect with those type of clients that I really do, like really moldly connect with, is the most rewarding thing, because they're gonna appreciate who I am and what I do and what I bring to the table versus just picking a random person and hoping that you get that type of reaction you want out of that experience.
Right.
So being able just to give the experience that I'm comfortable with and not ashamed of, if that makes sense. Like just being able to give them a service that I can write back and remember, hey, thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it. You helped me grow. Like, that's me. That's the most fulfilling.
So you've been at it a while now. What are some of the habits or qualities that are most critical to your success?
Time management.
Sure, yeah.
Patience, being able to say no and being able to accept no's. Because not everybody is going to say yes when you give them a price quote. Being comfortable with who you are and what you offer and not conform to your competitors. That is qualities on that. And just also being okay and being safe with your creativity is qualities. Definitely qualities I've had and I've embodied, because there is a lot of competition. And being that I separate myself in a way, because I am on cruise ships and no other DJ in this Alton or St. Louis area, which is where I'm actually from, can say that they do that. So because I have that, I have to continue to believe that I am worth what I ask, or know that the quality is over the quantity, and be confident with that.
I think one of those theories I subscribe to is that failure is the best teacher for us in terms of moving the business forward. Is there a specific failure that jumps to mind that you think back on and feel like, well, I really learned something there that's critical to the business now?
Definitely opening MPP, opening a brick and mortar. I always wanted a brick and mortar, but I didn't really format the strategies of how often I'll be gone, or the back house, or the overhead. Even though where I am, it's within my overhead expense. It's just overall getting out there and getting the people to come and rent the space or to use the space for what they needed to use it for. That was a failure for me. And as I contemplate back on the decision to even open it, I kept beating myself up like, you failed. But somebody was saying to me, a few people that I have a few good business mentors in my life, and they was like, it's not failure. It would only been failure if you didn't try it.
Right.
So the fact that I tried it, I conquered, I learned. I love the goods and the bads, and can only go from there.
Well, I guarantee you there's not a successful business out there that hasn't, quote unquote, failed at something. And because you just can't be a success without trying what's next and trying to figure out, okay, what's the next need that we can solve for somebody.
Yep, basically. That part right there.
So you're in a business that obviously I would think technology evolves pretty quickly. How do you stay on top of technology trends?
It's hard, and to be honest with you, I haven't. I'm just now getting caught up with some things. I'm just now. And to be honest with you, I didn't want to stay too caught up because a lot of things I don't need. Staying caught up in the newest DJ equipment, I'm not as caught up, because there's a difference between controllers and turntablists. My brand is controller, and then you have the turntables, but you feel like you have to do turntables, so you have to stay up with the turn. You also just got to be comfortable with the technology you do want to use, and it is hard. It's so hard.
I go back to kind of something you said. I think maybe the lesson from opening the brick and mortar was to maybe, for me, what I would take away is maybe go slower with decisions and things like that. And I think that can relate to technology too. A lot of times we want to jump in and use the latest, greatest, and it's just because it's the newest doesn't mean it's a better option sometimes. So So maybe it's good that you're going slow and just
Yeah.
stick with what works. Sometimes a piece of paper and a pen will do the job.
You see? Old fashioned. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right? Yeah. How do you handle consumer conflicts or any conflicts with clients in your business?
Customer satisfaction in any business is always number one. But that also goes back to the way business or clients come to my business or how I accumulate the clients. Being completely honest and being myself is what they buy into, because I don't know what is up with my persona, my energy. Something is on me that, my aura, that draws people to feel comfortable. But I also ask every question to avoid that. You can't avoid every issue. I'm gonna say that some things are uncontrollable, weather,
Right.
all that type of stuff. But like in the beginning, I try to dot all the I's and cross all the T's so customers will be satisfied in the end. Only way customers wouldn't be satisfied is if the performance is not given the way it's supposed to. And I did have a situation. I had to outsource to another DJ while I was on a cruise ship, which is another issue as being a business owner.
Right.
You have to trust the people you put in place will do the job as if you were there.
Sure.
They didn't do what they were supposed to do, and I did have to do some troubleshooting. Refund was given. Of course, the lady didn't respond back to some things, but I do keep a contact with this particular client to let her know that we are here for future if you needed us. Sorry about the previous. Just being humble about it and
Sure.
expressing, refunds are always number one.
Right.
But
That
also, or
always
discounts
helps,
or
but-
discounts or something like that. But
I think more important though than the refund of the money is what you said about the humility of it and the just being conscientious about, hey, we're not perfect, we're humans, we did make a mistake,
Yeah.
but we do care.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of times the biggest thing you can have is in conflict resolution is just showing that, hey, we do care about this. Like
Yes.
we did make a mistake. It's the ones that they just act like, well, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
That's when really consumers don't come back to you, I think,
no.
the second time.
And then they tell the next person, do not do them, or they go on SBA or Better Bureau or Google.
Yeah,
and then you have even bigger of a consumer reporting and fixing you have to do. A
Right.
bigger PR situation.
Right now, there's somebody sitting out there that's maybe working at a job, or maybe they're getting ready to get out of high school or college and start their career, and maybe they're thinking about becoming a business owner. What piece of advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, be slow. Well, you mentioned it off of what I said. Be slow and plan. Don't need to follow the trends, because they're trends for a reason, which means they change and they fade. Really dive down in who you are and what you are passionate about that you could give out to the world. Supply and demand. Find out your area and nurture it and study it where it's only you that can give that service and nobody else can. Don't be afraid. I still think about it too. As a business owner, you will have to keep consistent income coming in because it is so many businesses out there. Once you find your unique lane, you might be able to let your job go and focus on it because you're bringing in enough money from your business.
Right.
But don't be saddened if you have to work a part-time job just to fund your business. It's okay. If you get business credit together or personal credit, make sure your personal credit is good. Monitor finances. Before you open any business, study your finances first because you have to have money to fall back on as you do your journey as a business owner. Sacrifice. That's the big word I want to say. You have to sacrifice time, family time, personal time. When you're an entrepreneur, it's 24/7 type
Right.
deals. Like it's unless you get to the point where you can have team and all that. But as a business owner, it's you until you build a team. So be prepared for the workload. Be prepared for the mental toll, the physical toll it's going to take on you.
Yeah, that's all great advice. So thanks for that.
No problem.
You are a sponsor of the show is the Riverbend Growth Association. I know you've been a member for about a year. Just talk
Yes.
a little bit about your membership and some of the benefits you've gotten from the Growth
Perfect.
Association.
Perfect. Thank you to Stephanie and Debbie, of course, and their other over there at RBGA. I try to say the letters, but I
Sure.
should just say Riverbend Growth Association, be easier. When I came to Alton, I guess originally I was from St. Louis, Missouri. I am from St. Louis, Missouri. I have family in Alton, so I have really deep, rich roots in Alton. Before I came here, I was just by myself, like just trying to wing it and make it work. And then I just started Googling, and somehow I seen an ad on Facebook about Riverbend Growth Association, and I just tapped into them. I emailed them. I said, hey, how can I do this? How can I be a part? And then Stephanie literally reached out to me right away. She came by the space. She gave me an initiation packets and booklets and all that. I've learned that you have to build alliances. So the part of me building or even reaching out was to build an alliance or support within the area that has a bigger buzz. Network is number one in any business or any part of your life if you want to get further. So I was like, okay, it's perfect. Let me network with them. Let me do this membership. I've never been a part of any commerce, even from St. Louis, which is where my business originally was registered at. I've never joined over there. So I'm like, let me try it. And it's been a great experience. There's so many opportunities to network. I get to meet you, Nick, the Big Z Media.
Well, thank you.
Which is media. So I might be tapping into intern or something with y'all. I don't know. I like to always learn too.
Sure.
So then they do an annual fall festival. Last year I was the 360 photo booth sponsor.
Okay, yeah.
This year we work out how to make it work. So I have a selfie booth now. But just being able to tap in with their network and being able to be welcomed or ask questions. They e-blast services helps promote. I'm great. I always say any business, small or big, always tap in with your intermediate network within your areas because it expands you.
Well, awesome. Great conversation. Thanks so much for coming on. If somebody wanted to get a hold of you and inquire more about your services, what's the best way to do that?
Mostpreciouspromotes.com, MOSPRECIOUS, promotes with a S at the end.com.
All right. DJ Most Precious, thanks for coming on the show.
Yes,
Appreciate
thank you,
it.
Nick. Let's go. Business over brew.